Lewis Hamilton's got a great record of winning the first races at new venues. And we're going to a new venue today in Las Vegas. Can Lewis take the first win around the streets of Las Vegas? Let's find out. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to AHGP, where we are just 2 rounds away from the end of Season 1. And today we're taking on the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The first time that F1 has raced in the state of, I wouldn't say the state of Nevada, that might not be factually correct, but definitely along the strip in Vegas. We've had to do some repairing of George Russell's car after his tangles with Fernando Alonso in Brazil, and we also have a bit of a problem, if I can find it, in the pit crew are weary. They were exhausted, according to this email, which was a bit alarming. So we're doing absolutely no training from here until the end of the season, and also it might see a higher chance of mistakes. So our pit stops are going to be a coin flip as to whether they go well or go badly. Okay, Q1 and Q2 successfully negotiated. We did have a little bit of a scare with Lewis in Q2 because he got a whole heap of traffic on his first run. But with George Russell, we've actually made it through on just 2 runs in qualifying. So the first session we did a double push with both drivers, but they didn't have to go back out again. Lewis had to do a second lap for his 1:34.8 in Q2, but he did it on the same set of tyres, so he hasn't lost out there simply because of a load of traffic. But the pressing issue for me is all of these grid drops. Alonso and the 2 Red Bulls chiefly. I'm wondering whether we at least take grid penalties with 1 driver. George Russell's engine components are a bit worn. Maybe put him towards the back and have Lewis at the front, see if he can use his, fresher engine that he's got currently to try and win from the front. But let's see where we qualify, then make that decision. Let's maybe wait a moment, see if someone else will go out first. Yeah, there goes Verstappen. So let's see if we can follow a few people and get a tow, because the nice big long straight here down the strip, if you can get a slipstream down there, you're in business. And we've got the Red Bull ahead of us of Perez, so hopefully we don't catch it and we get a slipstream. So here we go. First sector will be coming up any moment now for Lewis Hamilton. Here we go. It's going to be a green. So it's a 42.7 versus a 42.9 for Russell. I think that's engine power. Middle sector purple for Hamilton, who got a lovely tow and goes fastest. He's gone fastest thanks to Perez. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And Russell goes 3rd. But look at the difference. Look at the difference. Hamilton purple in the middle and final sectors are 27.9. Let's get the times up. He was a 10th quicker in the middle sector and a 10th quicker about a 10th quicker in the middle sector and a 10th quicker in the final sector was Lewis. So his gap is just under 0.2 of a second, as Alonso and Stroll now go 3rd and 4th. Verstappen is 8th. Did he get a load of traffic? But I don't care, because Lewis Hamilton's currently on pole position for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's quite a long lap here, actually, so we'll go at double speed. What does Perez do? First sector. It's not showing us. Hamilton's not improved. And Perez, let's have a look at the times. Doesn't look like he's improved either. Russell's done a personal best. Leclerc is doing personal bests as well, but he is about to cross the line, I think. Checkered flag is out, and Hamilton is not improving, nor is Perez. What about Verstappen? He hasn't crossed the first sector yet. Perez stays second. Hamilton stays fastest because he didn't improve. George Russell stays 5th. Who else could be a problem? Stroll, Sainz, Verstappen. Alonso hasn't improved. Verstappen not improving. Where is the Red Bull? Coming through the final sector. Max Verstappen, can he deny us pole position? No! And Stroll goes second. We've got pole position for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I think. Is that everybody done? That's everybody done. We're on pole position. Brilliant. Look at that. Lewis Hamilton on pole position. And yeah, honestly, we've been about half a second shy the entire session, like all in Q1 and Q2. And just having that slipstream has made all the difference. All right, the strategy is pretty simple. It's a medium start and then finish on the hards and box somewhere around lap 23, is that, by the look of it? 22 for George Russell. I did look at the soft start for Lewis, thinking get the launch on Stroll, but if anything, I'd rather be second for much of the race and then just use the slipstream on the final lap. I've not underfueled because it's a long time at full throttle and you're probably not going to recover a huge amount of fuel, although you could do a fair amount of lift and coast. But we're starting first and fourth. We've not taken any engine penalties, so that's our lot for the season. They've got to get us through tonight and through the race in Abu Dhabi in the next episode, but we'll get to that when we get there. Right, I think it's time to roll the dice in Las Vegas. Let's go. Lots of lights, but there's about to be 5 specific red ones. And the Las Vegas Grand Prix is go. Let's watch Hamilton immediately getting away off the line. Stroll has started on softs and hasn't taken the lead. Sainz is actually looking to go around the outside. That would have been a very smooth operation if he had. Perez is only down to 5th. There's only a 3-place grid drop for him. Verstappen is 18th. Hamilton looking to defend from Stroll on the opening lap. We're actually going to just go neutral on our battery as Stroll does take the lead, but that's fine. I'm not bothered about that because actually I'd rather be in the slipstream and have that extra speed from it. Although Stroll could just disappear. The AI does blitz the battery in the opening couple of laps, so what I'm going to do is hang on to it and then maybe spring a surprise later on. We'll get Russell to drive in clean air. He's got Perez right behind him. And Carlos Sainz looks like he's coming past. But not just yet. So the tyres did warm up quite nicely in practice. So just keep an eye on the temperatures. George Russell already actually down a place because Perez has overtaken him. This could be really problematic. Perez with fresh engine components, it would look like. And then only starting 5th. So that was my concern, was that they'd just be so fast with fresh power unit parts that we wouldn't be able to catch them, and we will need to deploy some some battery in a moment to catch Lance Stroll. We have just lost 2 positions. Looks like Perez might be making it 3. Hamilton's just dropped behind Sainz. Russell has just dropped behind Pierre Gasly. There's 2 groups of 4 here. There's Stroll, Sainz, Hamilton, Perez, and then there's Gasly, Russell, Leclerc and Alonso as Sainz now takes the lead for Ferrari. We are harvesting with George Russell there. I think we might just actually put both drivers in top up while they've got access to DRS. Leclerc has now come through this gaggle to lead it and is in 5th place, and he'll probably bring everybody with him and close up to Perez, although he was slower last time round. Sainz with a 40.0. Probably all that DRS. Right, let's see how things unfold Nothing too crazy yet, but you can see the groups. Hamilton has just taken Carlos Sainz, and I think this is a double overtake. Stroll has clearly just taken the lead, and Hamilton on the brakes taking second place back from Sainz. So there's going to be a lot of chopping and changing in this race. Russell is duking it out with Alonso again, who does seem to... Aston Martin do seem to like crashing into us. So I'm a bit wary about being close to their drivers. Russell has had tangles with Alonso and Stroll this season. So let's just keep an eye on where all that is. What's the tyre usage? We're actually a little bit worse off than Perez. Around the same as Sainz. And we need to maybe avoid the high-risk curves and just bring temperatures back under control as we actually take the lead. But here comes Perez, and he'll probably spoil all that fun for us. Alright, lap 12, end of lap 12. Hamilton's just retaken the lead from Perez. But there's not really any point in having the lead. While we're here, we might as well just actually top up the battery as Perez takes the lead back again. So we'll just cool the tyres, top up the battery. There's not really a huge amount happening at the moment. It's probably just tyre management central, as Perez has actually used a bit more tyre now. Sainz is looking after his tyres. We seem to be pulling away from Stroll, although he's still in DRS range on Hamilton. Russell down to 7th, but tracking Alonso and Leclerc. Gasly's been left behind a little bit. His teammate Ocon is doing a great job of bottling everybody up. Verstappen's just a couple of seconds behind now, having finally made his way through this traffic. Alonso overtaken by George Russell. Let's watch this. Around the outside. This is going to be the prime overtaking spot. Position yourself well. Don't get squeezed out. Get the slipstream off the Ferrari. Job done. And it's 3 abreast onto the pit straight. As Perez now goes in. And Hamilton is challenging Sainz for what is now 2nd position. A whole load of them are in. Perez onto hards. Red Bull are actually boxing both drivers on the same lap. So Perez is going to go for the undercut here. But Stroll is in puncture territory in the Aston Martin. Sainz has got a bit more left on his mediums. I think we can go a bit more actually as Stroll heads to the pit lane. We can go a bit more. What I'll actually get Lewis to do is deploy, see if we can catch the Ferrari. But this group being broken up, that's not particularly helpful. Perez has come out and doesn't have DRS. He's actually come out behind Stroll. Wow. The overcut seemed to work there.
Okay, copy that.
Are we going to get a nice pit stop from our weary pit crew? Yes. 2.4 seconds. Okay. Where's Stroll? There's Stroll and Perez. They'll come out. Oh, what happened there? Hamilton drove through Perez? That was weird. Perez goes through. Stroll goes through. Hamilton doesn't. So we're actually further behind than where we were. Excellent. Although he's slow out of the pit lane, we might be able to get Sainz here. Down the inside. Yeah, that's 4th position. As it is at the moment. Tyres taking an age to come up to temperature. So, this is the race to the end now. It's a pretty dull one-stop strategy. But if there's a safety car, what tyres do we have available? We do have a set of softs for both drivers. So, keep an eye on that. Safety car will go for softs, which will do 29 laps. So, everything should be fine to go set of softs here. Sainz is going to tow us along with some DRS now. That's fine. We are closing a little bit on Stroll. What was that time last time around? Actually, we were significantly faster. Perez has got past Gasly. There we are in the background behind Carlos Sainz. We're charging our battery with Hamilton. We're making sure when we get into a position to do something, we've got the battery to back it up. Hopefully Gasly doesn't allow, he's going to allow Perez to get out of DRS range here, which is not ideal, although Sainz is starting to drag us along. Stroll can get through and then get back on the back of Perez. That's probably useful for us. What's Russell doing? Still fighting with Verstappen. Leclerc has suddenly dropped way back. Verstappen, his tyres are older than ours by a couple of laps, so that might come back to help us towards the end of the race. Our tyres with Hamilton are 10% better than Perez. Okay, Hamilton now 2 seconds behind Sainz. I don't like that. We need to improve our pace, please, Lewis. Lost 1.3 seconds the last time around. That I don't enjoy. I haven't done anything, but we have caught up to Sainz because he's been stuck behind Gasly. And he's about to make the move on the Frenchman, I think. There he goes. Smooth overtake. Hamilton, we need actually high overtake aggression and driving clean air, please. Thank you very much. And we will move ourselves on to try and catch the Spaniard. Perez is actually now second behind Stroll, who's doing a very good job of trying to win this race for Aston Martin. Yeah, I mean, could he strike it lucky? He's currently second. Hamilton just following Sainz. Russell back behind Verstappen. But with the DRS, you can just change positions so much. Right, we have caught back up to Stroll, as in we are within a second of him and we will get DRS. Tyre-wise, we are better off, although I think they're probably managing theirs. So we will drop to standard. Russell, we should probably do the same. Just look after us. Gasly's actually gone onto a set of softs, so he's going to be pretty racy towards the end of this race. So hopefully with DRS we can just babysit our tyres and pounce towards the end. That's the plan. Whether that actually comes off or is given the opportunity to come off is a completely different story, as Hamilton has a look at trying to take second place from Stroll, but that's not the place to do it. You might as well do it on the big back straight on the strip. Sainz actually falls momentarily to 1 second adrift. Russell 9 seconds behind this lead quartet. Verstappen hasn't come through at the rate that I thought he might. So if he gets past Russell and can stay ahead, I think he'll be a problem. But he's got nearly 10 seconds to make up and only 15 laps to do it. And your candidates for victory are Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll, Lewis Hamilton, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz. Looks like we're going through for second place. Here comes Hamilton. Through goes Hamilton. Now we are perfectly positioned to go for the win. And in fact, we're going for the lead. We're not wasting any time. We're going through as Hamilton takes the lead off of Sergio Perez. But I don't really want to be there. So what I'm going to do is conserve fuel. So, get to the lead, conserve your fuel. We're going to do that with Russell as well, just to be sure. The fuel has been recovering pretty nicely actually, but just want to make sure we will get to the end. And wow, we're 3 abreast here, and Hamilton's going to get past on all sides. Beats off Lance Stroll, and Perez will go through, but that's fine. With a bit of DRS we'll save some fuel. We've got better tyres. Sainz is really looking after his tyres. He's doing a super smooth operation in the Ferrari on those, and we're 2 by 2 as Perez takes the lead back. We'll just go to balanced. Now I think we'll recover enough to the end. If we need to do a spot more recovery, then we will do so. Hamilton takes the lead again, and Perez drops behind Sainz. Well, I think it's us versus Sainz for the win. We need to keep an eye on our tyres. What I will do is top up and conserve while we're in the lead, as Russell and Verstappen continue to absolutely have it out in terms of who's going to have 5th place. Sainz now takes the lead. That's fine. Don't mind Sainz taking the lead, but what I do mind is being outside a second. Keep an eye on that. This is so bizarre. Verstappen just cannot get away from Russell, and it's all because of the placement of the DRS positions. Hamilton retakes the lead. There's no point showing the replays because it just keeps happening. It's an absolutely wild race, and I'm liking the fact that we are above the slope for tyre wear on both cars, so we could probably be a bit more aggressive on our tyres. 10 laps to go. This race is still absolutely anyone's. And the bit that's got me, not a single yellow flag. Not one. Hamilton retaking the lead. We'll just conserve our fuel, and then once we've got enough, we'll be able to push and take the lead. It's going to be all about timing, this one. All about timing. As Perez now retakes the lead. He's had a break from doing the hard yards at the front of this pack. But his tyres are 9% worse off than Sainz. It's just going to be about basically having fuel and battery and tyres for the last lap as we go three wide again, and Hamilton pulls off. He's pulled off a double overtake. Okay, I'm going to show you the replay of that one because that was absolutely incredible. Look at this from Lewis Hamilton. Okay, the strip is massively wide, but all it takes is one locked brake and the whole thing falls apart. Look at that. Look at that from Lewis Hamilton. Genius from the 7-time world champion. This group has just been together the entire time. It's just been bonkers. Absolute mayhem. Perez, less than 50% left on his tyres. Russell the same, Verstappen the same, Leclerc. These two have actually dropped Leclerc quite handily. We need to go back to neutral on the battery with Lewis. We are very close to being out of DRS. I think we even are. Sainz might even be making his move now. Stroll now the car behind. So we need to catch up to Sainz. He must be using his battery and his tyres right now because the gap is nearly 2 seconds. We've still got a bit of fuel to recover. Sainz disappearing. 2 seconds. He's just done the fastest lap of the race. A 36.8 from Sainz. Has that just won the Spaniard this race? Okay, we need to make sure we close down the Ferrari. Well, Stroll might be helping us do that. What was the laps last time around? 38.2 for Sainz. He had to back right off. So I think he's gone too early. And we are close to catching him back up. Let's make sure we've got everything we need to take the position. Gap 1.1 between the leaders. It's just started to spread out. This is about as spread out as this four have been the entire race. 3 laps to go. This is quite tense, actually. 4 different teams could win this race. Which, you know, this is the F1 we want to see. This is very reminiscent of the Singapore Grand Prix. Stroll into DRS range on Sainz. We're in DRS range on Stroll. No, we're not. We are not in DRS range on Stroll. We are actually about to be overtaken by Perez. And we need to conserve some fuel. So we've actually missed our shot here. Stroll takes the lead from Carlos Sainz. Just looking at Russell and Verstappen battling it again. We have 2 laps remaining. We need to attack on the tyres. We high overtake aggression? We are. We're driving clean air. Although that's probably not really necessary. Alright, this is it. We need to make 3 positions in a lap and a half to win this race. Lewis has already shown he can make a double overtake if and when required. Sainz has retaken the lead. Stroll taking the lead. We are not there with DRS though. We're not close enough. Maybe we should have gone a bit earlier because we've got the tyres left to do it. We're coming to the final lap. Lance Stroll leads the final lap of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Sainz takes the lead. This is crazy. We're not actually we don't have enough fuel. Russell's going to run out of fuel. Hamilton also just needs to, if the camera wants to look at him, needs to save a smidge of fuel. We're going to be close enough. Don't think so. Looks like Sainz might have this one sewn up. But Stroll is actually going to go for it. Let's see. Is the Canadian going to go for it and take his first win? Or are they going to collide? Stroll is going to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Lance Stroll. Or here comes Perez. Who's going to win it? It's Stroll. By half a tenth. Wow. And Russell's... Oh, he's not going to make it.
So that's P4.
He's going to run out of fuel.
Happy with that result. Thank you so much for the hard work. I know it is so
He's finished 6th.
Great drive today, mate.
Hamilton stops. Russell's are going to conk out as well.
P6.
Wow, what a finish to this race.
Well done.
Very annoyingly, we are off the podium. Russell somehow is still going. And he's going to park next to Lewis. What's going on? Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, we didn't win, but that was an incredible end. Lance Stroll has won his first race. Just let that sink in. Well, there you go. Lance Stroll has won a Formula One race, and it's the Las Vegas Grand Prix. He beat Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton to do it. The gap between the top 4, less than half a second. Absolutely incredible. And Max Verstappen finishes 17 seconds off the lead. That was madness. There's Alonso in 10th. Didn't even see where he started or what he was up to. But the craziest thing about that race, not a safety car. VSC, no yellow flag at all. It was completely green, which is unbelievable. I'm kind of annoyed that we haven't won the race, or at least got on the podium. But when you've got 4 cars that close together, you know, it's a coin toss as to what happens. If you want more wild F1 Manager action, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like. You're the best fans. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.